You want to give a little clap? That's not...
It's a little clap.
Can you give a clap, a normal size clap?
Like a
Just
average
normal.
human
Just clap.
clap or my average clap?
Normal human average clap.
I will try.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that about right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Seems like the normal human would do that.
It's fine.
I have a pretty thundering clap, so I have to always warn you. Don't want your equipment to get blown
Yeah.
by the noise that's
Please don't do that.
absolutely shot out by my hands when I do a thunderous clap. This is going to be a great show.
It is?
I feel so good.
I know.
Welcome back.
To the number
one podcast you're listening to right now, and the number one podcast being recorded today. Anywhere.
in the
on
whole
the
world.
planet.
What if there are other people recording podcasts?
They
and
don't
they're
feel as good as I do today.
Oh,
Oh,
what happened?
my project cannot be more than 1 hour in length.
We've only been here for 1 minute.
But this iPad of mine knows what's happening.
This wife of yours does not know what's
Podcast was
happening.
recording in 16K. It maxed out in the first 17 seconds. They told it to calm itself down.
Okay.
The technology is buzzing.
Yeah.
It doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I woke up early.
Wait, did we hit record?
Went outside. I don't know. That's your department.
I think I did. Should I just go check?
It's up to you. I don't mind
It
if
would
we
be
miss
good
it.
if
That's
would,
fine.
It would be good to check. Hold on. It's recording. See, this is why we need additional people
I
in this
woke up.
space.
I
Yes.
don't even need you today for this episode.
Oh.
I don't need additional people. I don't need anything.
Okay.
You want to take the day off? I got this. You sure?
You're just going to sit here and talk to yourself?
I can manage today.
Okay.
You know in Harry Potter
Yeah.
where they like drink that lucky potion?
Yeah.
And like everything just goes?
Yeah.
That's how today is going.
Felix, what is it called? Felix?
Yeah, that's it. Fettuccine Felice.
Felix Felices?
I don't know.
Felix Felice?
Sure. So I woke up,
Yeah.
went outside. I was kind of restless this morning. Couldn't concentrate.
Mm-hmm.
Came back in. Didn't matter. Let that go.
Yeah.
And then had to get a little bit of work done. I did that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a moment where you said, should we go record?
Yeah.
And in the back of my head, I was saying, I want to shower before I record.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to ride the Peloton.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And that's when Felix came in,
Okay.
infiltrated your body.
Okay.
And you said, oh, why don't you go do the ride, then shower,
Yeah.
and then we'll record.
Yeah.
Those are lucky words to hear.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect that. Normally you were ready. You would say, let's just record. Then you can get on with your day.
Yeah.
You accommodated what I needed without me knowing.
Yeah.
Rode that bike like an animal.
Yes, you did.
Showered. Had a great smoothie.
Yeah.
Conquered the cold at the end of the shower.
Mm-hmm.
And now here we are.
Yeah.
In fact, I brought my other glasses for today. So we're going to wear these today.
Because you feel like a
Welcome back
superstar.
to the number one podcast being recorded on the planet right now. If you are one of the lucky people
listening to
that
this.
happens to listen today, I hope you're not driving.
Yeah.
Pull over. You should pull over. You should enjoy this moment. If you're in traffic, just put your emergency lights on,
Yeah.
open your windows and crank the speakers loud and tell everyone, hey, we're not going anywhere for the next 30 minutes. We're going to change our lives right now.
Oh my gosh. You're so ready.
I'm ready.
So, you know, this is...
So what are we talking about
I'll
today?
tell you. You don't even know what we're talking about.
No, but I'm
today.
bringing it. It doesn't matter what it is. What do you want to talk about?
I have
Physics?
a plan.
Let's talk about
No,
physics.
I have a plan. But I just do want to tell you that sometimes when you are in a relationship, you have to anticipate what the other person needs. Like
You
when
did
I
that
came
well
upstairs.
today. There's some things you're horrible at anticipating. But this is
Ouch.
a children's show, so we won't go there.
Oh my
But
God.
other things, like today, when you're like, no, not only do you say go do the ride,
Yeah.
but then you top it off with, oh, and I'll make a smoothie after.
Yeah.
I was like, where are the hidden cameras? What's happening?
You know I'm like that most days,
No.
right? Yes, I am.
I'm sorry, you're not. But I can be like this most days
Okay.
if you bring that energy.
Yeah.
So that's how it goes,
that's
people.
the lesson here, people. If you see, it's really easy. So this morning could have gone one of
I
two
didn't
ways.
even know
I
that
know.
I-
This morning could have gone one of two ways. I could have come upstairs and said, you promised you were going to do this podcast.
But I was
you
ready
come
to.
downstairs and you do this darn podcast with me. But I didn't, because I saw that you were trying your best to accommodate everything. And I realized in that moment that there was a little stress pouring off of you.
There was?
Yes.
I didn't even feel it.
Yeah.
I was just like, I was recalibrating
Yes.
because I knew I had to move the ride later in the day. And what you saw was me thinking, there's a chance that I just
don't
skip
do this.
working out today because
And I know
don't.
I know how important it is for you, and I know what it does to like just your balance. And you've been working really hard this week at like just trying, or not this week, but this month, to find the balance between taking care of yourself and getting all of your responsibilities done. And I, as your partner, I support that. Like, I want to be supportive to you. And I think that we sometimes we get stuck in this rut of like, I have to do this. How come he's not doing this? How come she's not doing this? And you do a better job of that. But I do think that I fall into this mindset sometimes where I'm like, this is just not, I don't have time to accommodate this. But I do feel like today was a good lesson in thinking that if you accommodate somebody's, you know, whatever they're feeling, chances are it'll come back to you tenfold. And I think that's life too.
What if they don't even realize that you're accommodating? It still works.
Yeah, absolutely.
You didn't
don't
say-
do these things for necessarily for only one outcome. You do it for the greater good of the family. Our family succeeded today because of that.
And it's not even 9 a.m.
And it's not even 9 a.m.
It's a good day.
Yeah.
So that's good that you were having deep thoughts while I was cranking it out on the bicycle, sweating on the floor.
Yeah.
It was the first time in a long time I had to go find wipes to clean up the floor
That
after the
was-
workout.
When you came towards me with your hands open, like
Yeah.
that's the only time in my life I do not want to touch you.
You're lying. But okay. I enjoy that moment.
To like come hug
Just
me.
so satisfying to be drenched in sweat after workout and to go find someone who's just showered and say, hey, how about a hug?
Gross.
That's a good moment. If you're pulled over in traffic now, go hug the guy behind you who's showing you the finger and honking because you haven't moved. Go give him a hug.
Especially
"This
if you're
one's for
really
you."
sweaty.
Yeah. Turn on the heater in your car, then go give him a hug.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Sheena Interrupted.
The number one podcast you're listening to right now.
I was going through some pictures yesterday and I was telling this story.
Digital or print?
I was going, no, we don't have printed pictures.
We do in that box.
I did not.
For sure we have.
Those pictures are like 25 years
Yeah,
old.
but you're going through. I don't know what you're going
No,
through.
I was looking through some pictures on my phone yesterday because I need storage because my phone is at max capacity. And so I was looking to delete some big videos and I came across this picture and I showed it to Lauren, who was sitting right beside me. And I said, oh my gosh, look at this picture. And I looked really pretty in that picture. And she's like, wow, you look amazing. And I was like, this is probably one of the hardest days I've gone through in this world.
In your professional space.
In my professional space.
And
she
it didn't
said,
show.
Nope. She said, what?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
I have a guess.
And
Were you
I'm
wearing
finally ready to talk about
Okay.
it.
It's been 2 years. Were you wearing a black dress by
I
any
was.
chance? Yes. Okay.
What color were my lips?
Red.
Yes. How expensive was my outfit?
That I don't know.
It was
I
like
don't remember.
I remember planning for that event for
Yes.
weeks.
Were there tacos involved? Okay. Or not really. Were there no tacos involved? Were you expecting tacos to play a bigger role?
There were no tacos in my purse.
There are no tacos. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, that's the day.
It's another example of like expectations versus reality
Yeah.
and how so much of what people see is just not,
Yeah.
it's fabricated.
Yep. So,
But that was like your first moment of being like, oh crap,
Yeah.
I'm a prop.
yeah.
And I remember thinking, oh crap, you thought this was real.
Yeah.
That
Exactly.
was a big moment. I was like, wait, what did you think was going to happen?
Exactly.
And you're like, but look, I'm all dressed up. I'm like, yes, you took the photo.
Yeah.
You look amazing. That photo will live on. That's
Yeah.
why you dressed up, not for the rest. This is all a prop.
Exactly. So let's rewind and let's
Yes.
fill people in. But essentially, this idea of, when people post these pictures of like Instagram versus reality, that's a real thing. Like that is a 1000% accurate statement. Instagram and reality are two very, very different concepts. And it's fine to have the Instagram, but it's also important to remember that that's not always real life. Like what that represents, that's not real life.
And a lot of people, and I think us included, do a pretty good job of posting real life
Yep.
also
Yes.
on social media. So it's not Instagram versus reality. We're making Instagram more real,
100%.
or social media or whatever it is. It's makeup today, it's, you know, no makeup tomorrow. We don't apply any sort of editing things to our videos in terms of, oh, take this, you know, change my body physique and this and that. That's what people do when they're like, sort of doing the Instagram versus reality thing. So I don't think you're talking about photoshopping and stuff like that, because we've never done that.
Nope,
so
we
I
haven't.
I want to be clear in terms of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're talking about the backdrop and the, oh wow, look, you went to this amazing event and
Yeah.
it looks so nice and you put these 5 photos and it's
I want to share. I feel like I'm ready to share what that really, like what's behind the scenes of that. And
of one.
of one particular
Yeah, because there's so many
instance-
others that are real. Like everything you
100%.
see is a good depiction of what our experience was like.
Yeah,
but
and I think
you should dive into your story.
I think we try our very best to relay the true emotion that we're feeling, either during the event or even after the fact. We'll talk about it or we'll share some insight. But this particular event, it was one of the first times that it happened to me, and one of the first times that I realized, like, it's not always what you see on camera that is a reflection of what the person is truly feeling on the inside.
That's what I like actually about social media in many instances, is depending obviously on the creator, but you get more of that authentic lens of what's happening compared to TV cameras.
Yeah.
Right? TV cameras are a production.
Yeah.
It's literally a production. That's what it's called. They're producing a television show.
Yeah.
So they have certain things that make up the show before everyone even gets there, right?
Yeah.
So they already have the script. They already have the set. They know what has to happen.
Yeah.
The lights literally go on and they say, okay, we have a 45-second break.
Yeah.
Like go.
And the light
go to
could
the
represent
bathroom,
the
do
sun.
this.
This could be at 8:00 at night, and the
Yeah.
light's on. It shows you that it's daylight, and you have no concept of
It's
like
all
what
made up.
100%.
But it's
yeah.
meant to be made up. Like it's designed that way. Whereas when I see certain people putting things out, I say, oh, wow, okay, that's interesting. You're seeing them applying the makeup. You're seeing them putting on the prosthetic. You're seeing them do all this stuff, and it makes it more real in a way. And maybe that's where some of the confusion comes from,
Yeah.
where you don't know what is made up and what isn't based on who's seeing it.
Yeah.
But go tell your
Okay.
story.
So a few years
So we
ago-
were doing so I told you I don't need you today. We were doing a deal with a company.
Stop.
Okay.
So a few
You're
years
gonna
ago.
participate?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just saying, if you don't want, I'm good today.
No, I want to
Okay.
participate.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
So a few years ago, I got a call from my manager, and he said, "How would you like to go to the VMAs?" And I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, I got you 2 tickets to the VMAs this year." And I was like, "That's amazing," because as some of you know, I am really into the whole music thing, and going to the VMAs was like a really cool experience, and it felt like we were moving in the right direction. It felt like, oh, somebody's actually acknowledging that that this music thing is good for me.
Side note, this was before she released any music,
Yes.
but just decided to sing once in a while on her social media. She thought that was enough to be invited to the VMAs.
Yes.
So this is pre-Better, pre-Find Your
Yes.
Happy, pre
Yes.
You'll Make a Home, like all
Yes.
of these songs that you've now heard.
Yes.
And all of their whatever,
you haven't heard them, you
hundreds
should
of
hear
thousands,
them.
millions, whatever the numbers are that are very respectable,
Yep.
they didn't exist yet.
No, they
Please
didn't.
proceed.
Yes. So anyway, it turns out that
We did ping ping pong pong videos on TikTok.
turns out that we were hired to work on a campaign with a company, and as
That was
part
also
of
a
the campaign,
sponsor.
yes, it was a sponsored campaign.
No, they were also a
a
sponsor,
sponsor
of the,
VMAs,
Yeah.
and so they were given a few tickets for their collaborators to attend the VMAs. And one of the things that they required as part of this campaign was a photo of me all dressed up on the red carpet going to the VMAs.
Yes.
That's all they required.
Which we
actually,
knew.
from
No, we
from
also
the
had
VMAs.
video
We
from
had
home.
a video,
Yeah.
but from the VMAs, that was all that was required of them, or of us from them.
Yes. And it gets better. You've seen our Bose stuff. You've seen like our other music collabs.
Yeah.
This was a taco company. Okay? So it was food. It was Old El Paso. Like, it was a great campaign. I think they were really smart about it. They took the sponsorship that the company was doing with the VMAs and
Yeah.
they said, okay, we're going to couple this
Yeah.
with creators who have a musical twist,
Yeah.
who it makes sense to their audience that they would be going to the VMAs.
Yeah.
And we're going to have I forget, it was like, because it was this trend where you get dressed somewhere, you put your hand at the camera and then you pop it away and you're like at the event or something like that. It was very
Yeah.
cool.
It was a cool campaign.
The campaign was cool.
And it was a cool place to be able to go.
Yeah.
But in my head, I did not reconcile the two thoughts. And so
Right.
I was like, I have this campaign. I get to go to the VMAs. It's not like I have this campaign, so I get to go to the VMAs. It was,
I
this
have
campaign,
to go
or I
to
have
the VMAs
yeah.
to
It was,
close
I
my...
get this campaign. And also, cool beans. Like,
Yeah.
I get to go to the VMAs.
Yeah.
So I'm...
What the heck is cool beans? Whose beans are cool? And
cool.
what is that?
It's a cool thing.
Where does that come
That's
from?
cool.
You are absolutely... apologies to everyone whose teenager just walked out of the car. Auntie Sheena, please continue. All the children have closed their
Whatever.
phones now.
Whatever.
Cool beans, bacha. Good job. Here's one Parle-G biscuit. Now go play. Okay, go ahead. Adults are talking.
Anyway, carrying on, moving along,
Yes.
whatever, all the things.
Yeah.
So I get really excited. I buy probably my most expensive pair of shoes. It was my first pair of Louboutins.
Yes.
I bought a beautiful handbag. I bought a gorgeous dress. I got hair and makeup done.
Over there. We
yeah.
hired hair and
Yep,
makeup
we
to come
hired
to the
hair and
hotel.
makeup to
I
come to the
remember now.
hotel. And I had all these...
Pause.
Yeah. God.
Pause.
Are we taking a break
No.
again already?
Hair
What-
and makeup
Yes.
was the same woman who did your hair and makeup for the music.
Oh, she did an amazing
So
job.
had it already come out, the music? Or had you recorded it, but it hadn't come out yet?
Oh.
See, I don't want to get fact-checked by one of our listeners and be like, what are you talking about? I saw the taco thing.
She must have...
So maybe I know you recorded the video, but then we waited a long time before it came out. So sidebar,
Maybe we had one
lied.
song out?
Maybe one had come out
Maybe we lied, you said, sidebar?
just now.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That
Okay.
being said, the numbers on the streams were not enough to support a VMA invite at that
Correct.
point in time. Go ahead.
This is fact.
Yes.
Fact, no cap.
But she was the same woman. If you saw any of Sheena's music videos with the originals, she was the same woman that did her hair and makeup, and she was wonderful. So you actually had her come all the way out
Yep.
for this as well.
Yep. And
The
she was
expenses
amazing.
of this video are adding up now in my head, and I didn't realize it back then.
Yes.
It was before we instituted the credit card check system.
I think this was the reason you...
Yes, correct.
Check system.
I'm like, we are doing a video about taco seasoning, and you bought Louboutins. So the mathematics is not mathematicsing.
Yes, this is true. So anyway, I go to the event, or we go to New York.
Yeah.
We get ready for the event. I'm super excited. We have a car, like a little long black car, pick us up.
Yeah,
We go to the award show
early.
early. We were there early
like
because
four
we had
for
to
like a 7
capture our
o'clock show.
content and all of that. And we pull up, and as we're driving, there are people standing on street corners and they're screaming, and we're like, what is happening? They don't know who we are.
No, I was saying that. You're like, oh, they know I've come.
No, I did
I've
not
come to the
say
VMAs.
that.
I brought
You
my taco.
actually said they know I've come.
Yeah, 'cause I opened the window and I
And
did
they
like
started
this, and they started screaming.
So anyway, we pull up
Then I see them looking at each other. Who is that?
to
Who is that?
we pull up to the event, to the venue, and we get out of the car, and we get pulled aside, and we're told, okay, we're going to get you all your credentials, and then you can walk the red carpet. And we were required to capture certain photos, certain images, certain visuals, and we did.
I have an asterisk to that part of the story.
Okay.
We needed credentials to be behind the scenes
Yes.
to get the photo that we
Yes.
needed for the campaign.
Yes.
We were not intended to walk the red carpet.
Yes.
The only reason we walked the red carpet is because there were other creators who were also participating in a similar campaign.
Yes.
Who had a manager with them.
Yes.
Who was running around insisting essentially that they walk the red
Yes.
carpet because he wanted to grab that content.
Yes.
He wanted the Getty images and all of that
Yes.
of his client.
Yeah.
So we sort of were with that group. There was nobody, once we got the credentials so we could get through security, that was the end of the responsibilities of
Yes.
Oiled El Paso. They're like, look,
Yeah.
we got you
We
in,
got
take the
you in,
picture,
take
and
your
that's it.
ticket, take
you have
your
a
picture.
ticket, you can go
Yep.
sit and watch the show.
Exactly.
But this other person was scrambling to say, hey, I'm already here. I saw him and I'm like, hey,
Me too.
I'm gonna get her also on.
Yeah.
And okay, so continue.
We end up walking towards the red carpet.
And first we were doing our stuff.
We did our pictures.
So
we
we're
got what we
watching
needed.
people come in.
Yeah.
Like we are watching people come in.
Almost like we were fans at that point. Like we
Of
were
who?
not like
Nothing's changed. Like absolutely nothing's changed from where I stand. There's still no reason for me to be walking the red carpet, and I'm no less a fan or more a fan of any of these people if I knew them.
Yeah.
But they were clearly, you had the paparazzi from across the globe behind the,
Yeah.
the cord, all sort of, saying, look here, look here, look here for
Yeah.
the point and shoot even before the red carpet. And then there's our first experience of a, backdrop,
Yeah.
all those pictures that you see.
Yeah.
This was the
This was
first
just
time
like-
we were learning that.
it was post-COVID, but like very
Just
soon
post-COVID,
after
yeah.
COVID. So think about it. We went into COVID not being online, not having this whole world change for us. And then all of a sudden we're pulled out of our homes and we're told like, go do this cool thing.
Yeah.
And we did not know what to expect. This was our first red carpet moment. And I had no expectations. I think maybe you had some, still not nearly as much as
I
know
think it's
now.
the opposite. I think you had real expectations.
Oh,
and
I had
no
expectations of like, this is going to be the most amazing experience of
I was
my
like,
life.
What
And
the
I think
hell?
you came in like 50-50, maybe 60-40.
I knew we needed to go get shots
Yeah.
for a video campaign.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got from Boston to New York to you getting fully dressed and this and that, with me not realizing that you actually thought you were supposed to be part of the VMAs. Like I still don't understand how you made that leap. You're like, oh, Old El Paso, that's it, I'm in. And you're like, yep, me, Snoop.
Snoop was there.
Snoop, yeah. Jack Harlow's there. Taylor Swift is there.
Well, we didn't see Taylor Swift,
But she
yes,
was there.
Yes.
We didn't see her, but she was
I
there.
bumped fists with Snoop.
Yeah, Snoop was there. We have like all these people. I remember Jack Harlow performed.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say who else performed because I know this is your favorite part of the story.
God. AG1 has really helped me build a healthy morning routine. In just 60 seconds, I get my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre and probiotics, adaptogens, and more. I'm typically not great with feeding myself in the morning, so AG1 is a really, really nice option for me. I have been making myself a smoothie and putting it in there as opposed to starting with a cup of coffee. The reason I like AG1 so much is because it contains prebiotics, probiotics, and gut-supporting ingredients to support digestion, reduce bloating, and keep my body feeling regular. Recent research studies show that AG1 was actually shown to double the amount of healthy bacteria in your gut. These healthy bacteria work together to break down food and are known to alleviate bloating. Okay, so lots of bloating talk, but I can attest to the fact that it is great. It makes me feel great. It's cut down my caffeine intake. And overall, it's just something that I've built into my system and into my routine that makes me feel good overall. And of course, living with somebody who has to know the facts about everything, here are some fast facts in case you have an interrupter in your life that has all kinds of questions about everything. AG1 is made with bioavailable ingredients that actually work with your body. Just one daily scoop provides whole body benefits like gut, immune, and stress support. Try AG1 and get a free bottle of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 Travel Packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/Sheena. That's a $48 value for free if you go to drinkag1.com/Sheena. Check it out. We get to the red carpet. And when you get to the beginning of a red carpet, they have this like signboard that says, this is the person that's coming. So the paparazzi will take a picture of that image of the name, and that way they know who this is, who they're taking pictures of.
That's almost true.
Wait, most of them are printed.
Yes, so it's not on the board, it's a printed sheet.
It's a printed sheet, like this is so-and-so, this is such and such, this is, you know, DJ Khaled.
He was
Jack
there.
Harlow.
Yeah, he was
there.
there.
This is Snoop Dogg. And just for the random one person that may not catch it, but like that's what's written on these pieces of paper. They also have a board where you can write a person's name in case they had made a mistake or forgotten to print out.
So you've all been to those events where they print out badges.
Yeah.
Right? For like you've registered to go to some conference and an event, there's a badge. And you've also seen that loser, and we've all been that loser whose name didn't get printed because you forgot to register and you have to write it in by Sharpie and you're there, oh yeah, here, Trid, Sharpie, like, this loser didn't register. We were that loser that didn't register. So the reason they have the board is in the one-off situation where, you know, Snoop Dogg said he's not coming.
Yeah.
But then he wakes up one day, he says, hey, I want to go. For, you know, German knitting magazine who don't know who he is.
Yeah.
They have this board so they can take the picture and then align it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, 99% of the fill-in writing, these photographers have zero interest in because they know this person just it's the vice president of communications son has come. Okay, this idiot wants to come. His dad is a higher up. You know, this is our marketing lead's daughter. Okay, her mother is a big shot. Just let her walk with her boyfriend. It's like a highlight. Yeah. Don't even waste a photo on this person. Yeah.
So
that was us.
So my name got filled in on this board.
Yes.
And I walked the red carpet.
This was after the other two whose manager actually even made this happen.
Yeah.
So they walked, you know, nicely, calmly, got their pictures, they went. Mm-hmm. We're very strategic. We're like, wait, there's nobody here. These guys aren't, you know, really going to take your photo. Let's wait for someone who has a TV show or something to come. Let them go first, and then you'll go right after them, so they'll have a nice sequence. So, you know, we're clever. So remember that lady with like that blue puffy thing?
I'm telling you, it was not clever.
But remember that blue? Yeah, I do. She went first. It was working.
She did.
Until the lady behind you showed up.
Yep. So I'm walking the red carpet. I think one person took one picture of me, and then the next person came up behind me.
Because there's three
slots.
Slots, yeah. And so you were in slot 1 when you got that one photo. Then that lady was, the key slot is the middle slot.
Yes.
So the puffy jacket lady, whose name I actually don't know, but was in a movie that had just come out. She's in the middle. So she's in slot B. Sheena's in slot A. Yeah. And most photographers get you in slot B. Yeah. Unless you're like a superstar, then they get you in A, B, and C.
Yeah. Okay. Which it turns out that a superstar.
Yeah. So puffy lady moved to C.
Me, right after me. So puffy lady now moves to slot C, and I move from slot A where I got my one picture, and I move to slot B.
Highlight moment.
Yep. I think I'm going to have my highlight moment. You are beaming. You're standing in the, like, on the side.
I went to the paparazzi side. I'm taking photos of the paparazzi
side, and you're taking pictures and all, like, kind of videos and waiting for, like, you were actually taking videos because we were going to get our pictures. And all of a sudden I hear, Anita, Anita, Anita. And all of the cameras, they go from my slot B center moment and they turn this way. And nobody's looking at me at this point. And it turns out that this woman, Anita, I did not know her music. I know of her now, but I did not know of her back then. She was at the VMAs for her moment. Like, she was winning awards. She was performing that night. I think she's a Brazilian. Is she a
Yeah,
Brazilian artist?
She has collaborated with superstars like Madonna, Snoop Dogg, and J Balvin.
Yep.
In 2022, which I think was then, she
Yep.
released her 5th album, Versions of Me.
Yep. That was Anita's
She has 64
moment.
million followers on Instagram, compared to our 640,000 at that time. To give you context, she is
Anita
100
was
times.
definitely in her glory moment, and she, like, good for her.
I started filming her. I took all these photos. I'm like, who is this in B? Get out. Put Anita in B. We need her in the middle. Get
That
this
was
lady
me.
out. I didn't know then. Anita was there. I got so shocked.
So literally, I'm looking at all these cameras, and nobody has taken my picture, and everybody has shifted to Anita.
Yeah.
And I moved to C, and of course, still nobody's looking
So
at me.
you're literally-
even the camera people from the B section and from the C section, they're all looking at Anita, and I'm
As
like,
they should.
yeah, as they should.
That,
As
they're
they
like,
should.
wait, we came here to take
To get
pictures of 5
this
people, and
woman's
she's one of
picture.
them.
Yes. And so I kept walking.
The lady in the puffy thing threw you out of the way to get in a shot with Anita. And she does like standing there being like,
Hello.
someone have a Polaroid?
And then I walked over, and I was like, what the heck
Just happened.
just happened? I swear I was like, am I being punked? Like, what is going on here? And I looked over, and I see everybody screaming Anita. And you have to understand, like, it's all moving so fast.
Yeah.
Everything is just like, there's camera clicking, and there's people screaming, and there's lots of noise, and there's lots of lights. And I felt like I just was completely blindsided. I moved over, and the next thing I know, the people from the old El Paso team are like, can you give us your pictures? Can you give us your pictures? Get us our images. So we're dealing with that, and I'm trying to process, and I have no idea what is going on in my mind, but I feel like I just went completely blank.
And then you get kicked out of the red carpet and you go into the horseshoe of TV interviews.
Yes.
Now they have the list of the people that registered.
Yes.
So they have already made their lists of
who they
5,
need to
6, 7
interview.
people. Yeah, for those 30-second sound bites you see on TV.
Not
right?
even like 10-second sound bites
Per
per
person,
person
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah. So
And when you're a scribble in,
yeah,
you're not.
they have no idea,
no
who,
idea
you are,
who you
and
are,
they don't
what you're doing.
care. And even
Well,
the
they already
few
have
people,
a show. That's what
Yes.
we didn't realize. They already have.
They've already slotted
There's
those
someone
spots.
sitting in New York, in Toronto, in wherever in the world, in a room saying, we have these slots, we
Yeah.
have this minute, I need this one
one
minute
sound
with this
bite
person.
with so and so, one
Yeah.
sound bite, and they have their list of like, I have 4 slots, I need these 4 interviews,
Right.
and they're waiting for those interviews. They're finding the best sound bite, and they're like
Yeah.
slipping it in.
And if it's a rock show, they're looking for those talent.
Yeah.
If it's, it's again, French TV, they're looking for French artists.
Yeah.
There's all these things. So I didn't know this then. I'm walking around asking these people like, oh, here, I represent Sheena Mawani. Would you like to interview her? She does ping, 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 pong on TikTok. Or do you want to get out of it? We can move. You have Anita and Snoop Dogg right behind, but we make really good social media where she sings in my living room. And they're like, no, we'll pass. So
There was one
They're like
person,
Bayesian TV, right? Like Barbados.
she was a fan, and
Yeah.
she loved our content, and she's like, oh my God, I can't believe you're here. Can I do an interview? And I was thrilled. I did the interview with her. She was lovely.
That's when Snoop Dogg walked by. She's like, sorry, Sheena, get out of the way. Snoop is here.
It was like, in hindsight, it was really like idiotic for me to think anything else would happen. But anyway, fast forward, we go through the horseshoe. I see a couple of people that I like recognize. I say hello.
Like DJ Khaled?
No.
Recognize?
Like, remember, I had, there was a friend of mine that like was there.
Oh,
on
right. Another industry person
Yep.
you had met at another
who
event.
I had met at another event.
Yeah.
So like we did the mingling, whatever. We get through the horseshoe, and then we go to take our seats. And the seats that we went to were on
Gifted.
They were
Remember,
gifted.
not sold.
They were gifted. They were not sold. They were on the back side of the stage, and we did not have a clear point of view of the actual
Right.
stage. There was a screen on
Yeah.
the back of the stage that we could watch
Right.
the VMAs from this back of the stage.
And do you remember seeing people who, after they did this, like the other people who were on or in the VIP area but not walking the red carpet, like taking photos, and all of a sudden they're pulling out sneakers and sweaters and they're like changing to get into comfortable clothes.
Yeah.
Like they knew this.
Yes.
They knew they were going inside now. Their work was done.
Yeah.
They're just going to go enjoy a show.
We did not know
We didn't.
this. We did not know this.
Walking up to, row 317 Q in your Louboutins.
Yeah.
Sitting there in your frou-frou dress by yourself with everyone wearing hoodies and t-shirts.
Like eating popcorn.
Yeah.
It was a really like strange dynamic.
Yeah.
It was like this weird dichotomy of two.
We left early.
We did.
Yeah.
Because we sat in the seats and you were like, this is great. And I'm like, this is not great. Like I was seething at that point.
Yeah, I love the fact that they would do something and then you'd see these lights go, green.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, minute 30-second TV commercial,
Yeah.
And you hear it in the whole stadium, but really they're telling the people down.
Yeah.
And then those people who are the ones you see in the background on TV, they're literally telling them, hey, this next performance is going to be the other side of the stage. So if you want to go bathroom or whatever, go now, go in the back. They don't even sit there the whole time.
Yep.
Like Bieber.
Yep.
He
has a
wasn't
room
sitting
in
there the
back.
whole time. He just sat in the back and then we're like, okay, Bieber, they're going to be shooting this. They want to see you in the background.
Yeah.
Come sit in your chair.
Yeah.
So he came and he sat in his chair for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then went back to, whatever, playing on his phone in the back room.
Yeah.
I found that stuff fascinating to actually see how much this is produced.
Yeah.
You would think they go to an award show, they sit there and they watch the award show.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, no, I don't give a who won best drummer.
I mean,
in
some people
Japan.
might really enjoy it.
But
And
the
some
people on TV were definitely moving in and
they've
out.
been to these events so often, so many times that it's, I honestly, I can't speak to how like really, really famous musicians handle these moments because I think they all have a different approach. Some you see they're like cheering the entire time, and some you see they really have no interest. So our whole thing was, this is so not what we had anticipated. At least for me, this was not my expectation at all. And I think by halfway through, I felt like I had been hit by a truck and caught completely blindsided, that I was like, I'm good. We can go.
I think that was the result of you searching on Getty Images.
Oh, yes.
As these pictures were popping
as the pictures started
and
surfacing.
And blue fluffy girl, Anita.
Yeah.
Nothing in between. I think maybe one popped up
I got
the next
zero
day.
pictures.
Zero
pictures from that event. And, that was my first moment or my first opportunity to get like a Getty image. And when I started scrolling and I saw all of the Anita content just completely take over from that moment, as opposed to, there was the blue fluffy girl and then there was Anita, and I was like, not even one. And I shut down and I was like, we can go now. And we left, and we had a car that was supposed to take us home.
Mm-hmm, but it was at the end of the event.
It was at the end of the event.
With the other creators.
And we asked if we could be taken home early. And they said the car is not actually available until the end of the event. So we got an Uber.
Yeah.
And the Uber wasn't able to come into the event.
Right. It was blocked.
Because it was all blocked.
To walk a block.
So we walked like 4 blocks.
Oh, was it that much?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I remember.
Because you're wearing those useless shoes.
They were not useless. They were beautiful. But the bottom of my red painted soles are no longer red because of that. We had a long walk back to the car. I don't think I said very much. I think I like completely shut down. And we got into the car, and you were very sweet. You asked me if I wanted to talk, and I said, nope, I actually don't want to talk at all. And I remember
I was like, awesome.
I started pulling out my hair.
Oh yeah,
extensions.
Bensons were in too.
My Bensons
this was
were in.
all out.
I started pulling out my hair extensions, like shoving them in my purse. Do you remember?
No. Your taco was gone?
My taco was gone.
You ate your taco.
I took out all the Bensons and I shoved them in my purse. I yanked off my eyelashes. I did as much as I could, and before we got back to the hotel. And then when we got to the hotel, you're like, so do you want to get some? I'm like, nope, I don't want to talk. I don't want to get food. I just want to wash off this day. I went to shower. I like got myself into pajamas. I got into bed. I don't think I said another word and I went to sleep. And the next morning, I remember I got up and again, you asked me like, do you want to go get something? I'm like, nope. And I didn't want to talk to you even then. And I left the room. I went to go for a walk and I got myself a cup of coffee and I needed to clear my head. I needed to understand what it was that I was feeling. And I think it's really important in these moments to actually, and I've talked about this before, like hold your hand out and understand what that feeling is. Like, what is it that your body and your mind and your heart and your soul are feeling? What are you holding in that moment? And I was holding rejection and I was holding hurt and I was holding just like so much sadness. And I couldn't understand why, because I knew I've spoken about this so often. Like, it's really about your internal happiness. It's really about what's inside that matters. It's not about what happens on the outside. But there was this like disjointed feeling, right? I felt very disconnected from the words that I normally tell myself. And I couldn't understand why. I just couldn't let it go. Like, you can say all these things, but if you're really feeling garbage, then there's nothing you can do about it. You have to understand why you're feeling garbage. And I remember coming back to the room and we had to get ready to go back to the hotel. Back to the airport. Yeah. And you called one of your friends.
He saw some of the stories from the event and he knew that this was the first event we were attending. And I don't know how he got he somehow got the impression that you were very excited about this event.
Oh, really?
So Jordan's a musician.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know where in the timeline this happened.
Yeah.
Jordan McGraw.
Yeah.
You should check out his music too. He's got he's different styles. He produces, he performs. He opened for the Jonas Brothers at Fenway. I can't remember if that was before or after this. Maybe after.
After.
But he sent a message to me saying something like, "You've suffered through your first one, huh?" Or something like that. And I said, I've got to get him on the phone with you because he's
and I didn't even want to talk to you
from the other side.
I had no idea why you were trying to put me on a call with somebody else, like with with a friend of yours.
Yeah.
Or a friend of ours. So Jordan, he calls Jordan and the first thing out of his mouth was, "So how bad was it?"
Yeah.
And I looked over and I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "How bad was it?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Oh, don't pretend with me." And he talked to me and he said, "We have all been there. We have all had this moment." He said, "We've all been there. I've walked in with the Jonas Brothers and nobody even saw." I was like there, I don't think I got even one picture from that award ceremony. So the truth of the matter is, I think more people than not understand this. At various points of their careers, they've felt this moment. And I don't know why I expected this to be different for me. But it all goes back to show, like, when I was looking at this picture and my friend, Lauren, who was sitting beside me, said, "Oh my God, you look amazing. I can't believe you got this opportunity to go to the VMAs and look at your dress and look at your bag and look at how good you look." And I was like, yeah, this was probably one of the hardest lessons I ever learned in my professional career. And it was probably one of the hardest days I experienced. And then I was telling her the story and I wanted to share that with you guys because often what you see, and I posted those pictures, those beautiful pictures standing with the VMA backdrop and like, it was a gorgeous moment, but that's all it was. It was one moment that you guys caught on camera. And all of the stuff that happened before and after, they never made it onto my feed. And now I was very slighted and I was very hurt and I was very saddened by the whole experience for many, many, many months and probably years.
But with who? With yourself?
With myself.
Yeah, because there was no one wronged us.
Nope.
Like no one set
Nobody
these
did
expectations.
something wrong.
Yeah, it was actually one of our favorite campaigns in terms of the fun we had doing it and the video and all of that. It just like, it was a very cool experience, but it's a real example of be careful what you project and what you think is supposed to happen, because then you miss your own expectations that no one set for you.
Yeah.
And then for me, it was all about what did I learn, right? I learned so much. I learned about the write-ins. I learned about you have to ask if you're going to any event, what is the PR play?
And what's my role here?
Yeah.
Like, don't create unrealistic expectations.
But no one did. That's my point.
I did.
Yeah, you did. But
did.
You need to set your own
Yes.
expectations. No one set those for us.
Yeah.
And if there is a PR play, then you can reach out in advance and say, hey, I'm going to be there. Get me on these slates.
Yeah.
If you know to do those things, people will interview you because you will be one of the 4 slots.
Yeah.
Ironically, you've never again been to an event where you were there as a guest. You've always been because you've been invited as Sheena Malwani. You've always been with your name printed in bold letters, and every single person wants that photo. Every single person wants the interview.
Yeah.
And you've been in a position to enjoy that. You won a Streamy.
Yeah.
Like, you've gone and you've done all these things,
Yeah.
but you still remember this.
Because it was
more.
a really good lesson.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It's a really good lesson.
A really, really, really good
and
lesson.
we learned about
And the next time we went on a red carpet was for that Streamies event.
Yeah.
And it was a completely
every single
different
person
experience.
was like, oh, Sheena's here, Sheena's here, Sheena's here. They know their market,
yeah.
you know? So if you have somebody who is going to a content creator event and you're a nominee, that's who the people who are, you know, trying to publicize the event, that's who they need to see. You go to the Streamies next year where you're not a nominee.
They're not going to
Maybe
they'll know
not.
who-
You're a content
yeah,
creator, so
yeah.
they know you. You have numbers. So
Yeah.
they know their market is looking for people that watch online content.
Yeah.
You do that.
Yeah.
But if you take an NFL player
Yeah.
and you put them in line,
Yeah.
they're going to feel this way.
Hmm.
You're going to be like, what? I'm used to getting that attention. They're like, but who is this guy? He
Yeah.
doesn't have a YouTube channel. I don't see them online.
The other thing that was really good for me was it was a, like, check yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter who knows that you're there or who doesn't know that you're there. Like, are you happy being there? Was it a joyful experience? And I think that that's one thing that I want to take away from that moment for the rest of my life. Like, whatever the experience that you're going to attend, whatever the function, whatever the event, like, go to have fun.
Yeah.
Don't go to show people that you were there. Don't go to show people that you got an image. It's really not about that. If you and I would have gone in sneakers and jeans and a t-shirt, if we had to change the clothes in the back of the car,
Yeah,
or if
just expect we would have
we
stayed till
would
the
have
end.
stayed till
Had
the
fun.
end, we would have danced, we would have enjoyed the music, we would have enjoyed Anita dancing on
Yeah,
stage.
she was
Like,
great,
She
actually.
was great. And it really would have been a completely different experience. And I honestly, like, I wouldn't have even checked for those images in that moment had I
Yeah.
really thought about it. I think that I really needed that reality check. Like, this is a really important thing. We fabricate these things for ourselves.
Yeah.
And they're not healthy.
This
you
is
know?
good of you to acknowledge that
Yeah.
and to share that with people.
Yeah.
Are you going to sing Envolver to end Anita's 2022 blockbuster song?
Sorry,
in
Anita.
homage to
I'm not there yet.
to your favorite Brazilian Latin artist? No. Oh, okay.
You know which song came to my mind?
No,
And it's
but
like
tell me.
it's like a two-sided coin. We keep this love in a photograph. We keep these memories for ourselves. Where our eyes are never closing, hearts are always open, time's forever frozen still. So if you keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet, you won't ever be alone. Wait for me to come home. And the reason I picked that song is because when you look at a picture, you decide what you want to remember from that picture. You decide if you're going to remember the lessons. You decide if you're going to remember the heartache. You decide if you're going to remember the good things. Like, we were talking about this yesterday, right? You went through all of these amazing things, but super challenging things in your childhood. And what do you remember? You remember the good stuff,
Yep.
you know? So I choose for this particular instance, I choose to remember the hard stuff too.
Yeah.
We actually took a
Emerge.
picture. Remember you took a picture of me like with tears in my eyes. And I'm like, stop. And you said, this is going to be really, really valuable to you because you
Yeah.
will remember the lesson that you learned here.
I do funerals, divorces. I think it's an area of life that people don't like to capture. I like to capture, people at their worst. It's good.